Hey, good morning. Welcome to Boomer Bust. My name is George Tift. I'm your host. I'm glad you're here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Sacramento. It's stunningly beautiful out. I'm in a beautiful park. I was thinking about aging and how numbers affect us. Think back when you were a kid, when you were 10, 11 years old. You could not wait to turn 13 because then you're finally a teenager. And then after that, it's 16 because when you turn 16, then you can get your license. Independence is coming. Then, of course, there's 21. You're a full-fledged adult. You can vote. You can do all the things that adults do. Then, of course, in the backdrop, you got 25, because 25 is cool because your insurance rates finally go down. Then there's 30. That's the first big one. That's because when I was a kid, 30 was like, they're dead. They're done already. Holy cannoli. I thought my grandfather was 30. 40, that's, you're over the hill at 40. Then 50, that's the one where everybody gives you the black balloons. It's like you got one foot in the grave teetering. Then 60, and when you're 60, then you're pre-retirement. Things start to fall into place, or they're supposed to fall into place. But the things they never tell us is what you can still do at 60. And when I turned 60, all of a sudden I realized that most things I've been told about aging were a lie. Or mistruth, okay. Because in my 60s, I'm 67 now, and I'm having more fun and living larger at 67 than I've ever had in my whole life. There's an appreciation that comes with the road that you've traveled, and how, frankly, I would have skipped my 20s just to get here sooner. But we can't do that. But the thing about aging is it's just a number. There's 60 seconds in a minute, and 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. And every year we put a marker down, and we count the markers. So I've got 67 markers behind me. I'm coming up on mile marker 68. And the thing of it is, time is something that man invented to make it more convenient for himself. I think it was created to put men in bondage. You got to be to work for 8 o'clock. There's not an option. You got to be there for 8 o'clock. Well, if you didn't have a clock, you go to work when the sun came up. That's what they used to do. And then you'd go to bed when the sun went down. And it was simpler. And when we add these markers to our life and we celebrate each marker, it's like we put a burden on ourselves. And the thing about those markers, we turn 60 years old. Do you remember the first time you told somebody, "Oh, I'm old"? Boy, that was foolish. Because think about it, your spirit, okay? My body may be old and kind of worn out and it's got a few issues, but my spirit, it's the same spirit I had the day I was born. That same childlike spirit is in there, but we allow these markers to stop us from letting that spirit out and exist in our day-to-day. We don't laugh at the simple things anymore because, well, I'm older now, I'm supposed to be mature. Mature is another one that's a marker. It's another bondage. Act your age. Okay, how? I've never been this age before, so how am I supposed to act? If we got rid of the markers, we'd literally get to that place where, live each day like it's your last. What's the song? Live as if you were dying. If we lived as if we were dying, we'd live totally different. I have a good friend of mine. I love him a lot, but he worries a lot about stuff. And I said to him, I said, well, let me ask you a question. If you die tonight in your sleep, what did you accomplish by wasting all that time worrying? When I retired, I stopped wearing my watch. I'll wear it occasionally when we go out, to dinner or something like that, just as an accessory, not as a timepiece. But when I stopped wearing a watch, all of a sudden my sleep patterns changed. Instead of staying up late and then sleeping in the morning, or, sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd go to sleep when I was tired, and I'd wake up when I woke up with no thought for what time it was. And then, as I thought about it, time was a bondage when I was working. It was this ever-present monkey on your back. You've only got so much time in a day to do something. Whereas if we got out of that mode of being tied to what time is it, we would just be spontaneous. We'd revert back to being the child. Because when I was a child, I didn't know what time it was. I just knew my mom told me to come in when the street lights came on. And another way that time locks us down and changes us is, I have some friends that I love them, and they've gone into like assisted living centers because they don't want to be a burden to people. But what I've noticed is that these people used to be extremely active. They were doing stuff all the time. But now that they're in the assisted living center, they stay in their room. They don't go out. They go out for the meals, or they'll go to the day room and watch TV. But there's nothing holding them there. They can, if they have a car in the parking lot, they can get in it and they can go out to a happy hour. They can go out, catch a movie, go walk the mall, go do something. But what I noticed is that they check in there and it's like they're waiting to die. My mom, I can remember, I think it was like in 2010, she checked into an assisted living center because she wanted to be independent, but she didn't want to have to be a burden to anybody. So she checks into this assisted living center. Back in the 70s, my mom had breast cancer, and she did everything that the doctors told her to do. And when they were done with her, she swore she would never go to a doctor again. But in 2010, when she checked into this assisted living center, the first thing they did was, they wanted blood work just to admit her. So she let them do the blood work, and when they got the results back, her body was riddled with cancer, and they wanted her to let them do a biopsy. And she was like, "No, you're not going to touch me." And so, because the numbers were so bad, they immediately put her into hospice. And so we all flew down, gathered around, did the she's going home routine. And after 2 years of being in hospice, she woke up one morning and said, "I've had enough of this crap." And she checked out and she moved up to Mississippi with my younger sister. And about 6 months later, she had to have pain management for about 10 days, and then she went home. She went home on her terms. And the problem that I see with my friend that's in the assisted living center is she's just staying there till she dies. It's almost like she's stopped living. She's already in the death mode. And she's still vibrant. We all have issues as we get older. But that whole concept of just stopping until you die. You live until you die. And that's a choice that you make. I choose to live that way. So my call to action this week is examine your own attitude towards your aging. What age are you? I might be 67 in man's number, but inside I'm an 8-year-old kid, and I'm running, and I'm going to run hard till the last day I run. And then, I'll go out big. Like Thelma and Louise. No, but think about it. Examine it. See what changes you can make. Tell me how you view aging down in the comments. Let's get a conversation going on this. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. But remember, till next time, Boomer out. Peace to you.